Good morning. Just pinning my comment there. Gives me a bit of anxiety, so I have to stay off the screen. Just give it a few minutes. Wait for people to come on in. Oh, Letitia's here. I'm happy. Right. My mum's shouting morning Letitia from upstairs. Just get a little music on. Fifi, I miss you. Okay. Oh, what's happened to my music? Just going to turn that on and then off again. Sorry about this, technical issues, always. Never smooth, is it? Okay, I think we're back in business. Perfect. All right. Oh, Hermione, good morning. Right, I'm just going to give it about another minute or so. Yeah, we'll get started about 1 or 2 minutes past, just so everyone gets a chance to come in and get settled. Hi, Laura. Any questions or anything, just stuff them in the little comment box at the bottom there. If you've got anything to ask before we get going, before I start the little intro. Ah, Hannah, hi. Oh, Frankie, that makes me happy, thank you. All right, okay, so we'll get started with a little intro, and that'll just give other people a chance to come on in. Oh, good, Jess, morning. Can't wait, me neither. All right, good morning. I'm Harriet. If we haven't met before, I am a Pilates teacher at Fly London. And this morning, Barry, I'm going to lead you through 45 minutes of Pilates. So we're going to work a lot, strong focus on alignment, making sure your body's in the best place that it can be to really get the work that we want to work. So I'm going to talk a lot about the pelvis and the spine. So really try and focus in on all those tiny little details that I'm throwing in about the rib cage, the pelvis, and the position of it, because it's always just going to help your movement. It's going to help to stabilize you and send the work where we want it to go without trying to get other things involved. I'm often going to tell you what isn't moving before I tell you what is moving, and that's going to help to stabilize and get that work exactly where we want it to go. Any injuries, just be really careful, really mindful this morning. Anything that does not feel right, bring it back a little bit, maybe to a more simpler version. I'm going to build through the exercises, so they're going to start a little bit simpler and then build up to get a little bit more complex. So you can feel free to stay back a little bit if you need to. Really work on those basics, work on that strength in those foundations, and then you can start to build up to those more complex movements. The basic movements doesn't mean it's easier. You're still going to work really hard. It's just going to be that your body's just getting used to it and you are working there before you start to progress. Anything else? Pregnancy, this class is not suitable for pregnancy. We work too much lying on our back and a lot of strong core work, so it's not going to suit pregnancy. But Fly have plenty of other classes that do, so feel free to jump into them. All right, so let's get started. I think we're good to go. And we're going to start lying down flat on your back so we can set up your neutral pelvis and spine before we start moving. Okay, so bringing yourself down onto your back. Knees bent, hip distance apart and parallel, making sure all 10 toes are pointing forwards. Your feet are in line with the hip sockets rather than the outside of the hip bones, so they're quite narrow, just a few inches apart. Inner thighs nice and active, so don't let those thighs wander off to the outsides of the room. Keep them nice and parallel. Thinking about your pelvis now. 3 points on the front of the pelvis, 2 hip bones, 1 pubic bone, making a flat triangular tray on the front of your body. If you had a cup of tea, resting in the center of that tray, it's not going to spill. So pubic bone should be in line with the hip bones, parallel to the mat, rather than the pelvis tilted under with the pubic bone coming up towards the ceiling. Lengthen it forwards, hip bones come up in line, and that should give you a little gap underneath your lower back. That's just your natural lumbar curve, so that might be bigger for some people. And then from there, drop the back of your rib cage, really heavy, down into your mat. So feel the back of the ribs sinking down, and the front of the ribs, lower 2 ribs are tucking down towards the waistband of your trousers. I'm going to say that a lot, tuck your ribs in. Thinking lower 2 ribs, sliding into the waistband of your trousers. Hands flat on the mat, shoulders away from the ears. Back of the neck nice and long, chin down very slightly towards the chest. Let's close the eyes and take 3 breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, sinking down into your mat. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, sinking down. Feel the back of the head, the back of the ribs, the back of the tailbone. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. This time, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck the pelvis underneath you, press the lower back into the mat, draw your lower tummy in. Breathe in, release that pelvis back to neutral. So you are intentionally spilling that cup of tea now. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis under, lower back presses down, tummy zips up like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans. Breathe in, release it back to neutral. 1 more like this. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis under, lifting just 1 inch off the floor. And then breathe in, release it back down. Good, nice. Now breathe out, tilt the pelvis under, little lift. So lift that pelvis a couple of inches off the mat. And then breathe in, release it back down and send it back to neutral. 2 more. Breathe out, lower back goes down first. And then lift that pubic bone up towards the ceiling just a couple of inches. Ribs are still down. Breathe in, release it back down, send it back to neutral. 1 more time. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis under. Lifting just 1 or 2 inches off the mat. And then breathe in, release it back down, send it back to neutral, hold it there. Take a breath in, pelvis does not move. Breathe out, float the right leg off the mat, single knee fold, shin parallel to the floor. Breathe in, gently drop that foot back down, exactly where it came from. Breathe out, left leg floats up, shin parallel to the floor. Breathe in, release it back down, so nothing in your spine or pelvis changes. Breathe out, just float that right leg up, just getting a little bit of juice in that hip joint. Breathe in to release it back down, left. Breathe out, float that left leg up, tummy muscle engage a little bit more. Breathe in to release. This time, breathe out, float right leg up. As you breathe in, float left leg up, ribs get a little bit heavier. Breathe out, float right leg back down. Breathe in, float left leg back down. Start with the left. Breathe out, float left leg up. Breathe in, right leg up, ribs get heavier. Breathe out, left leg back down. And breathe in, right leg back down. 2 more, start right. Breathe out, right leg floats up. Breathe in, left leg floats up. Breathe out, right leg steps back down. Breathe in, left leg steps back down. Start left. Breathe out, left leg floats up. Breathe in, right leg floats up. Now hold it at the top this time. The angle behind your knee stays the same. As you breathe in, just dip your right toes down towards the mat. And then breathe out to float it back up for 1. Ribs don't change. Breathe in, tap the left toe towards the mat. Breathe out to float it back up, right. Breathe in to tap the right. Breathe out to float it back up, left. Breathe in to tap the left. Breathe out to lift. So you're hinging away from the hip. Breathe in to tap the right. Breathe out to lift. 1 more left. Breathe in, tap the left. Breathe out to lift, holding it at the top. Float the arms above the shoulders, palms facing the front of the room. Let's carry on. Breathe in, tap the right toes down. Breathe out to lift it up. Left. Breathe in to tap the left. Breathe out to float it back up. 4 more. Breathe in, tap the right. Ribs get heavier. Breathe out to float up. Left side. So don't let those ribs pop away from the floor. Float the left up. 2 more. Breathe in, tap the right. Breathe out to float it up. 1 more. Breathe in, tap the left.
Breathe out to float. Now as you breathe in, reach the arms over your head to the back of the room, hovering just off the mat. Breathe out to float the arms back up. Option to drop the heels to your bum. Breathe in, send the arms over your head. And then breathe out to lift those arms back up to the sky. Let's go 3 more. Breathe in as you send the arms over. Again, the ribs get heavier. Breathe out to float the arms back up. Let's go 2 more. Breathe in to float the arms overhead. Breathe out to float those arms back up. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, float the arms up and over your head. Breathe out to float the arms up to the sky. Gently drop the right foot down. Gently drop the left foot down. Interlace the fingers, hands behind the head. Elbows are slightly forwards. Again, pelvis hasn't moved. Cup of tea is balanced. Take a breath in. Breathe out, curl up, head, neck, shoulders round to look through your knees. Breathe in, release it back down. Again, breathe out, curl up. The tendency is going to want to be to tuck your pelvis under. Breathe in, release it down. Try not to do that. Breathe out, curl up. Think like you're separating your upper body from your lower body. Breathe in, release it back down. So that pelvis, that cup of tea stays balanced. Breathe out to curl up and look through your knees. Breathe in, release it back down, nice and smooth. Let's go 3 more. Breathing out. Breathe in, release. 2 more, breathe out, curl. Breathe in, release. 1 more, breathe out, curl. Breathe in, release. We hold the last one at the top, breathe out, curl. Hold for a breath in. As you breathe out, right leg floats up, left leg floats up. Let's take your toe dips again with your curl up. Breathe in to dip the right toes. Breathe out to lift, left. Breathe in to dip the left. Breathe out to lift, ribs into your trousers. Breathe in, dip the right. Breathe out to lift, left. Breathe in, dip the left. Breathe out to lift, 4 more. Breathe in, dip the right. Breathe out to lift, 3 more. Breathe in, dip left. Breathe out to lift, 2 more. Breathe in, dip right. Breathe out to lift, 1 more. Breathe in, dip left. Breathe out to bring it back. Now draw the legs together. Flex the ankles, hold it there. Breathe in, release your upper body down onto the mat. Breathe out, curl back up, head, neck, shoulders, look through your knees. Breathe in, release the body slowly down. Keep those ribs tucked in. Breathe out, curl up, head, neck, shoulders, look through your knees. Again, breathe in, release. Breathe out to curl. Let's go 2 more. Breathe in, release. Breathe out to curl. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, release. And breathe out to curl. Good. Now breathe in, point the ankles. Breathe out, flex the ankles. Breathe in to point. Breathe out to flex. Keep your curl up. Breathe in to point. Breathe out to flex. 3 more. Breathe in, point. Breathe out, flex. 2 more. Point the toes. Breathe out, flex. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, point. As you breathe out, press your arms to the front of the room. Now breathe in, release the body down. Fingers point up to the sky. You've got 2 options. Breathe out, either curl up and hold your legs where they are. And then breathe in, release that body back down nice and smooth, or we take a double leg stretch. Breathe out, curl up, stretch both legs forwards and up, keeping them parallel. Breathe in to bend your knees, release the body down, fingers point up to the sky. Breathe out to curl up and press both legs into your double leg stretch. Breathe in to bend your knees, release the body, arms up to the sky. Breathe out to curl up, ribs into your trousers, press those legs away or keep them bent. Breathe in, bend your knees, release the body, fingers up to the sky. Breathe out to curl up and press those legs forwards. We're going to go 2 more. Breathe in, bend the knees, release the body, fingers up to the sky. Breathe out to curl up and press those legs, double leg stretch. 1 more. Breathe in, bend your knees, body down, fingers up to the sky. Breathe out to curl up and press. Now we hold it there, so if you need to, you'll bend your knees. If you can, you'll turn the legs out from the top of the hips, beat the arms. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Option to drop the feet down, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 8, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 5. Almost there. 4, 5 in 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Bend your knees if they're not already bent. Upper body goes down slowly, arms above the shoulders. Drop the right foot down onto the mat. Drop the left foot down onto the mat. Feet parallel, hip distance apart. Just turn your palms in to face each other. Head stays down on the mat now. Take a breath in. Breathe out, just reach your fingers up to the sky. Just rounding your shoulders. And then breathe in, release those shoulders back down into the mat. Again, breathe out, reach the fingers up to the sky, rounding your shoulders. Breathe in, release those shoulders back down. Let's just go 2 more. Breathe out, reach those fingers up to the sky, rounding the shoulders. And then breathe in, release those shoulders back down. We just go 1 more time. Breathe out, reach the fingers up to the sky. And gently release those shoulders back down. Good. Palms face the front of the room. Take a breath in. Stand into your feet. Breathe out. Lift your hips up to the top of your bridge. Holding it there. Imagine inner thighs are active. Knees are pulling towards the front of the room on strings. Rib cage is tucked in. Don't let those ribs pop open to the sky. Drop the ribs heavy into your trousers. Take a breath in, and then we breathe out, we roll down. Ribs first, lower back second, pelvis last. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, stand into your feet, lift your hips off the mat. Take a breath in at the top. Breathe out, roll down. Ribs first, lower back second, pelvis last. Breathe in at the bottom. Again, breathe out, stand into your feet, lift your hips off the mat. Take a breath in. Breathe out, roll down. Ribs first, lower back second, pelvis last. Breathe in at the bottom. 1 more. Breathe out, stand into your feet, lift your hips off the mat, and we hold it there. Take a nice big breath in. As you breathe out, try and lift your heels off the mat. Breathe in, lower the heels back down. Option to drop the hands onto the mat. Breathe out to lift the heels off. Breathe in to lower the heels back down. Again, breathe out to lift the heels off. Breathe in to lower the heels back down. Breathe out to lift the heels off. Breathe in to lower. Good. Again, breathe out to lift. And lower. Let's just go 2 more. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. 1 more. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Nice. Now from here, you're going to roll down 1 bone at a time. Ribs first, lower back second, pelvis last. Release it back to neutral. Now either stay with 2 feet down or float your right leg off to your single knee fold. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Stand into your left foot. Lift your hips off the mat and hold it there. If you're keeping 2 feet down, I just want you to lower your hips down halfway and lift those hips up for the whole of this exercise. If you've got that leg in the air, we stay here. As you breathe in, let's stretch your right leg to the front of the room. Breathe out to bend that right leg back in. Again, breathe in to lengthen the leg forwards. Breathe out to draw it back in. Hips are level. Breathe in to lengthen the leg forwards. Breathe out to draw it back in. We've got 2 more. Breathe in to lengthen the leg forwards. Breathe out to draw it back. We've got 1 more. Breathe in to lengthen away. Breathe out to draw it back. Now breathe in, lower the hips halfway. Breathe out to press the hips back up. Again, breathe in, lower halfway. Breathe out, lift up. 3 more. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. 2 more. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. Now hold it there. Take a breath in. Little pulses with the hips up to the sky. For 10. Breathe. In 6. In 5. In 4. In 3. In 2. Hold it there. If you can, lift your left heel off the floor. You don't have to. Take a breath in and let's final 10 pulses. For 10. 9. Breathe. 8. 7. 6. In 5. In 4. In 3. In 2. Hold it there. Gently drop the heel. Gently drop the foot. Take a breath in. Roll down. Ribs first. Lower back second. Pelvis is last. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out. Lift your left leg up. Single knee fold. Take another breath in. Breathe out. Stand into your right foot. Lift your hips away from the floor. Hips on level. Ribs are tucked in. Standing knee. Pull into the front of the room. Breathe in. Stretch the left leg forwards. Breathe out to bend that left leg back in. Breathe in. Stretch the left leg forwards. Breathe out to draw it back in. Again, breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out to bend. Let's go 2 more. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, bend. Go 1 more. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, bend. Nice. Now breathe in, lower the hips down halfway. Breathe out, press your hips back up for 1. Breathe in, lower the hips halfway. Inner thighs active. Breathe out to lift up for 2. Breathe in to lower halfway. We've got 3 more. Breathe out to lift. 2 more. Breathe in, lower halfway. Breathe out to press. Nice and controlled. 1 more. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. Now hold it there. Take a breath in. 10 pulses to the sky. For 10. In 6. In 5. In 4. In 3. In 2, hold it there. If you can, let's lift that that right heel off the floor. Take a breath in. Final 10 pulses for 10, 9, breathe, 8, 7, in 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, hold it there. You drop the heel gently. You drop the foot gently. Take a breath in and breathe out. Roll down, ribs first, lower back second. Pelvis last. Nice. Just turn your palms to face the sky. Open them into a low V. So about 45 degrees there. Let's bring your right leg back up to your single knee fold. Your left leg comes up to your double knee fold. Glue your legs together. Now the knees stay glued together. Don't let them slide alongside one another. They stay completely glued together. As you breathe in, you're going to let the legs start to roll to the right. Lift the left hip off the mat. And those legs start to roll over. Now, just as far as you can, without the knees separating, without the left shoulder coming away from the floor. It's not going to be too far. And then breathe out to gently unwind back to the center. Option to drop the heels to the bum if it's too much in the hip flexors. Breathe in, hip rolls off, right hip rolls off. Knees start to go to the left. Hold it there. And then breathe out to unwind gently back to the center. Little rotation in the lower spine. Breathing in, legs go to the right, the left hip starts to roll. Left shoulder blade stays down. You're controlling this with your tummy. And then breathe out, unwind back into the center. Left, breathe in, send the legs to the left, the right hip rolls off. And then gently unwind back to the center. Let's just go 1 more each side. Breathing in, send the legs to the right, the left hip rolls off. Gently breathe out, unwind, come back to the center. 1 more time left, breathe out, send the legs to the left. The right hip rolls off, right shoulder blade stays down. And then gently unwind back to the center. Just separate those legs, hip distance apart. Take a breath in. Breathe out, upper body curls up, hold onto the outside edges of your shins. Right leg stretches forwards, left leg gently draws in towards you. Let's take our single leg stretch, switch it over. So don't let your body bob side to side. Don't let it bob up and down. Your curl up is solid. If you've had enough in your curl up, upper body can rest down on the floor. 8, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, 1 more. Now hold, both knees come in, double knee fold. Hands on the back of the hamstrings, stretch the legs straight up to the sky. If you can't get them straight, little bend is absolutely fine. If you can, gently walk the fingertips to the back of the calf muscles. Right leg comes in towards you, left leg hovers just off the mat. Take a breath in. Let's switch it over. Breathe out, switch. Breathe out, switch. Breathe out, switch. Breathe out, switch. Nearly there. We're here for 14. 13. Breathe out. Light fingers. 11. 10. Almost there. For 9. Breathe out, 8. In 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, we're not coming down, in 1. Now bend both knees, Bring your hands onto the back of your hamstrings. Press your lower back down into the floor. Curl up a little bit more. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, press your legs into your hands. Roll over your sit bones, drop your feet on the floor. And then when you get there, let's sit up tall. Gently pull on the back of the hamstrings. Open your spine into your extension. Shine the heart towards the sky. Breathing out, bring yourself to center. Hold for a breath in. Breathe out, gently pull on the back of the legs. Open that breastbone up to the sky. And then gently bring it back to the center. One more time, breathe out, pull on the back of the legs. Open the breastbone up. And let's bring it back to center. Now, send both arms straight out in front of you. Sitting up tall from the base of your spine. So maybe you need to send the legs a little bit further away. Hands are going to be out in front, and then bring the hands together. So the fingers are spread nice and wide. Again, hands don't slide alongside one another. Hands are going to stay glued together. So just starting simple, sitting up tall. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we just rotate to the right. Head, neck, upper spine. Now, just hold it there. Check that your right hip hasn't swiveled backwards and your knees haven't dropped open. We're just thinking upper spine. So as you're rotating, that right hip starts to push forwards and your knees stay in line. Take a breath in to hold. Breathe out, unwind back to the center. Take a breath in the middle. Breathe out, let's go to the left. Head, neck, upper spine. Now hold it there for a breath in. Feel your left hip pushing forwards, your knees are level. And then breathe out, gently unwind, back to the center. Hold for a breath in the middle. One more each side. Breathe out, head, neck, upper spine. Right hip is pushing forwards. Breathe in. Breathe out, gently unwind, back into the center. Take a breath in. Final time left. Head, neck, upper spine. Hold for a breath in. Breathe out, unwind, back to the center. Hold for a breath in. Now, as you breathe out, tuck your pelvis underneath you. Scoop your lower tummy in. Roll back about a quarter to halfway. Now hold it there. Take a breath in. Let's rotate right. Head, neck, upper spine. Check your right hip hasn't gone anywhere. Breathe in to bring it back into the center. Left, breathe out. Head, neck, upper spine to the left. Breathe in, unwind, back to the center. Right side, breathe out. Head, neck, upper spine. Your knees are still, your right hip is pushing forwards. Breathe in, unwind, back to the center. Left, breathe out. Head, neck, upper spine to the left. Breathe in, unwind, back to the center. Two more right. Breathe out. Head, neck, upper spine. Breathe in, gently bring it back to the center. Left, breathe out. Head, neck, upper spine. Breathe in, gently bring it back to the center. One more each side. Breathe out. Head, neck, upper spine right. Scoop your lower tummy in. Breathe out, unwind, back to the center. Last time left. Head, neck, upper spine left. Breathe in, gently bring it back to the center. Separate the hands, shoulder width. Bring the body forwards. Lengthen the spine, lift the arms and circle them round. Down and behind you. Good. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle round. Down and back. Nice. Now lift the arms out in front, palms face the floor. And then you're going to sweep the arms back and pop those hands a couple of inches behind your shoulders. Fingertips facing the front of the room. Little bend in your elbows. Make sure you're not locking that joint. Keep the bend. Press the floor away so the chest is open. Pelvis is tucked under, so your spine is like a J shape. And then plant your feet on the floor. Not too close to your bum, a good foot away from your bum. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pelvis tilts under. Lift the pubic bone away from the floor, reverse tabletop. And then breathe in, gently release that pelvis back down, but don't collapse in the chest. Keep it open. Breathe out, pelvis under. Lift that pubic bone away from the floor, reverse tabletop. And then breathe in, gently lower it back down. We've really got to work to try not to lock the elbows. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis. Lifting it up, so when you get to the top, you're going to want to lock the elbows. Try not to, micro bend. And then breathe in, gently lower it back down. Let's go two more. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis, lifting it up. And then breathe in to gently release it back down. We're gonna hold the last one at the top. Breathe out, check your feet aren't too wide, just hip distance. Now, let's take a breath in, either just hold or breathe out, float right leg off, single knee fold. Breathe in, gently lower it back down, left. Breathe out, float left leg off, the hips are level. Breathe in to lower it back down, right. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. Left, breathe out to lift. Breathe in, lower. 2 more, breathe out, lift right. Breathe in, lower. 1 more left, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. And then breathe out, lower the hips all the way down onto the floor. Just stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Bring the body forwards, give it a circle. Up, round, and down. 1 more time, circle it up, round, and down. Good. Now from there, let's flip over onto your hands and knees. So either swing the legs around behind you or just flip straight over and bring yourself hands under shoulders, knees under your hips. Spread your knuckles nice and wide. Every single knuckle pressing down into the floor. Breastbone pulling to the front of the room. Tailbone pulling to the back of the room. Rib cage tucked into the waistband of your trousers. You're not doming. You're not extending, everything is in the center. Look straight down at your mat, but think about pulling the back of the head up towards the sky. Let's hover your box. So tuck your toes underneath you, behind you. Take a breath in. Breathe out, just lift the knees a couple of inches off the floor. Now hold it there. I always like to start in this 4-point kneeling with that hover, so you can feel the front, the sides, and the back of your core working. The shoulders stabilizing, everything is working. So the core is not just these abdominals at the front here. That whole torso, front and back, is the core. And in this position, you should be able to feel everything active. So in a moment, when we put those knees down, you're gonna hold that feeling in your tummy. Take 1 more breath in. And breath out. Gently drop the knees down. Gently untuck the toes. Keep that feeling in your core, nice and tight. Take a look forwards at me. I'll just show you 1 before we start to move together. As you breathe in, elbows bend tight to your body. Dive diagonally forward to your tricep press up. Breathe out to press yourself back up. Again, breathe in, bend your elbows, diving diagonally forwards. And then breathe out to press it back up. Let's go all together. Breathe in, even if you only go a couple of inches. And then breathe out to press yourself back up. Again, breathe in. Just think ribs are tight into your trousers. Breathe out to press the floor away. Again, breathe in, diving forwards. Breathe out to press it back up. 2 more. Breathe in, bend the elbows and dive. Breathe out to press everything back up. Last time, breathe in, bend the elbows and dive. Breathe out, press it up. Now hold it there. We're not going to come out of this position. Tuck your toes under at the back. Lift your knees just off the floor. Now breathe in, lift your hips. Try and drop your heels. Press your chest through towards your thighs. And then breathe out, lift your heels, bend your knees, and hover your box. This is one of my favorite exercises if you haven't noticed. I do it all the time. Lift the hips, drop the heels, press the chest, feel the length down back of the legs. And now breathe out, lift the heels, bend the knees, and hover your box. So maybe you can't get your legs straight. If you can't, you're going to breathe in, lift the hips, keep the heels off, keep the knees bent, but try and get your long spine. Breathing out, bring the knees forward and hover your box. Let's go 2 more. Breathe in, lift the hips. Try and drop the heels, press the chest. Priority is long spine. Breathe out, lift the heels, bend the knees, and hover your box. Final time. Breathe in, lift the hips, drop the heels, press the chest. And then breathing out, lift the heels, bend the knees, and come into your box. Almost there. Untuck your toes. Drop down to your forearms. Elbows directly under your shoulders. Forearms parallel to the edges of your mat. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Press the floor away. Ribs tucked into your trousers. Left leg steps back to your plank position. Take another breath in. Breathe out, step your right leg back to your plank. Now, you might need to lower your hips a little bit so they're in line. Breastbone pulling forwards. Look straight at your mat. Lift the back of the head up towards the sky. Option to drop your knees, untuck your toes. Holding it there. Now, if you can, breathe in, slide your body weight forwards. Breathe in, slide it back. Breathe out, breathe in to slide forwards. Breathe out to slide back, so you're not lifting and lowering. You're just breathing in, sliding forwards along a ledge. And then breathe out, slide back along a ledge. Again, breathe in, slide forwards. Breathe out, slide back. Again, breathe in, slide forwards. Breathe out, slide back. Let's go 2 more. Breathe in, forwards. Breathe out, back. 1 more. Breathe in, forwards. Breathe out, back. Now, from there, keep your legs straight. Just lower your hips onto the floor. Untuck your toes. And shine your breastbone forwards into your sphinx. So making sure shoulders are rolling down your back. Opening your heart to the front of the room. Take a nice big breath in. And a nice big breath out. And again, big breath in. As you breathe out, let's slide your right arm long and along the mat in front of you. Left hand comes just beside your rib cage. Roll yourself over onto your right hand side. Maybe you need to adjust yourself so you can look at the camera. You've got your underneath arm lifting straight up to the back of the room. Your legs are just starting long like a pencil. Underside of your waist lifted away from your mat. Nice. Now from here, keep the heels in line with the back of your body. Just bend your knees to 45 degrees. So if you look behind you, the back of your heels will be in line with the back of your pelvis and the back of your rib cage. So make sure they're not too far in front and not too far behind. Most important part of the exercise, underside of your waist, lift it away from the floor. So you should have a gap under your rib cage, under your waist, and you can slide your hand under there at any time. Top hand resting on your top hip. Keep your toes touching. Take a breath in, breathe out, open your top thigh into your clam, and then breathe in to close it back up. So breathe out as you open the leg, don't let the hip roll back. Breathe in to close it up. You breathe out to open and push your left hip forward slightly. Breathe in to lower it back down. Breathe out to float that leg off. Breathe in to lower it back down. Just 4 more. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. 3 more. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. Let's go 2 more. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. Let's go 1 more. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. Knees stay together. Lift the feet off the floor. The waist hasn't changed. The hip hasn't changed. Same thing. Breathe out. Open the clam. The toes are just lifted now. Breathe in to close it down. Breathe out to lift it off. Keep the waist lifted. Gently close off. Ribs tucked into your trousers. Breathe out to open. Breathe in, close. Here we go. Open up. Breathe in, close. 4 more. Open. And close. 3 more. Open. Don't let that top hip go anywhere. And close it off. Let's go 2 more. Breathe out to open. Breathe in to close. Let's go 1 more. Breathe out to open. Breathe in to close. Now this time, breathe out to open. Hold it there. You're going to inwardly rotate this leg in your socket. So breathe in. You're going to lift the toes up and the knee will drop down slightly. Don't let the knee come down to your bottom leg. The knee is still lifted. You just rotate it inside the socket. And then breathe out to open back into your clam. Breathe in to rotate the knee down, the toes up. Breathe out to open it back up to your clam. Breathe in, knee down, toes up, rotating inside the socket. Breathe out to open back up. Let's go 3 more. Breathe in to close. Breathe out to open back up. Again, breathe in, inward rotation. Breathe out to open back up. Let's go 1 more time. Breathe in, inward rotation. Breathe out to open up. Now let's hold it there. Gently rest your hand on your top thigh. Top thigh does not go anywhere. Take a breath in, just straighten the leg. The thigh has not moved. And then breathe out, bend it back, toes touch once again. Breathe in, lengthen the leg. The thigh bone hasn't moved. And then when you bend, you should be in that clam position once again. Breathe in to lengthen the leg. The thigh bone does not move. Breathe out to bend it back to your clam. Let's go 3 more. Breathe out to lengthen. No, breathe in to lengthen. And then breathe out to bend. Just 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out, bend. One more, breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, bend. Now hold it there, hand back on your hip, check it hasn't moved. Open that thigh 1 more centimeter. Take a breath in, check your waist. Pulse that leg open gently for 10, 9, breathe, 8. Think about pushing your left hip forward, 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Now gently lower that knee down. Gently lower the feet down. Top hand comes onto the mat. Lift yourself up. Forearm is directly under your shoulder. Forearm parallel to the front short edge of your mat. You're either going to leave your knees bent exactly where they were in that plank position, in that clam position, or if you know you've got a strong full side plank, you can straighten your legs in line with your spine. Make sure your ankles are really flexed. I'm going to show you the modified version. Top arm straight up to the sky. Now check the underneath shoulder. Don't let it collapse. Press the shoulder down into the socket. Big space between your ear and your shoulder. Top arm up to the sky. Take a breath in. So you're working before you've even lifted. Breathe out. Just lift those hips a few inches off the floor, holding that side reach. If you've got those straight legs, flex the ankles, lift, and we just hold it here. Nothing spicy, we're just holding it nice and solid. Checking in that you're never collapsing in that bottom shoulder. You should have one diagonal line from your head through your neck, through the center of your ribs, down through your pubic bone to your knees. So try not to lift the hips up and hold it here. You are one long diagonal line, stabilizing into that shoulder. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath in. Now gently lower those hips down. Gently bring the top hand onto the mat. Press yourself up. Hold onto your left ankle. Lift the right arm up to the sky and just take a side bend over to the left. Gently bring yourself back and drop the right hand down. 1 more. Breathe in, lift the right arm. Breathe out, side bend over the top. Gently bring it back to center and lower. Stay facing this way. Just swing your legs to the other side. Lower yourself down. Underneath arm reaching to the back of the room or the front of the room, whichever way you're facing. Long line like a pencil. Head, ribcage, tailbone, ankles. Now ankles stay in line with the back of the body. Just bend the knees 45 degrees. Check back of the heels lined up with the back of your tailbone, not in front or behind. Underside of the waist, lift it. Ribs, waist away from the floor. Top hand on that top hip. Don't let the hip move. Take a breath in. Breathe out, open your clam. Breathe in to close it off. Your range might not be huge here. Breathe out, it might be a couple of inches. And then gently lower. That is fine as long as your core, your torso is not moving at all. Then you're going to get that work down that medial glute. You're going to work to increase that external rotation in that hip. If you let your hip roll backwards and forwards, you're not just working the rotation in the hip, you're getting your spine involved, you're getting other parts of the body involved. So if you want to increase a range within that joint, you've got to keep everything else still and just work into that joint. Gently lower down, let's go 2 more. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. So never about the height, it's about how stable you can stay. Knee goes down, hold the knees together, lift the feet off the floor. Let's go again. Breathe out, open that clam. Breathe in to close. Check that rib cage and that waist. Breathe out to open. Breathe in to close it off. Again. Breathe out to open. Breathe in to close. Again. Breathe out to open. Breathe in to close. Let's go 4 more. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, close. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, close. 2 more. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, close. 1 more. Breathe out, lift. Let's hold it there. Now, hip doesn't go anywhere. Breathe in, inward rotation. Knees slightly down, toes up. And then gently open it back to your clam. Again, breathe in. Knees go down, toes go up. Breathe out to open it back to your clam. It's not huge. Breathe in, knee down, toes up. Breathe out to open it back to your clam. Again, breathe in, knee down, toes up. Breathe out to open it back up. Let's go 3 more. Breathe in, knee down, toes up. Breathe out to open it back up. Just 2 more. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to open. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in to inwardly rotate. Breathe out to open. Now hold those toes together. Top hand rests on your top thigh. Nothing moves in that thigh. Breathe in, straighten the leg. And then breathe out to bend it back. Check that waist. Breathe in, straighten the leg. Breathe out to bend. Again, breathe in, straighten. Breathe out to bend. Again, breathe in, straighten. Breathe out to bend. Let's just go 2 more. Breathe in, straighten. Breathe out to bend. Let's go 1 more. Breathe in, straighten. Breathe out, bend. Now hold it there. Hand back on the hip. Open that thigh 1 more centimeter. Push the hip forward slightly if it's rolling back. Little pulses open for 10. Breathe. In 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Now gently lower that knee down. Gently lower the feet down. Top hand on the mat. Pick yourself up. Elbow directly under the shoulder. Forearm parallel to the front edge of your mat. If you're keeping your knees bent, keep them where they are. Top arm up to the sky. Get that underneath shoulder into the socket, away from your bottom ear. Top arm straight up to the sky. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Let's just lift those hips a couple of inches off the mat. Hold it there. You've got 1 long line from your head through your rib cage, through your pubic bone down to your knees. If your legs are straight, take that side plank. Again, try not to lift those hips and drop the head. You are 1 long diagonal line. That is going to stabilize the shoulder. That is going to stabilize that oblique. Holding it solid. Nice, guys. We are nearly there. Let's hold. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. Let's go 2 more breaths in. And out. 1 more breath in. Breath out. Gently drop the hips. Gently bring the top hand down. Press yourself up. Hold that right ankle. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Side bend over the top. And then breathing in. Bring yourself back to center. And drop that hand down. Again, breathe in to lift. Breathe out, side bend. Bring it back to the center. Drop it down. Now plant the hand down. Just swing yourself straight onto your tummy. Just stretching out the abdominals. Legs a little bit wider than your hips. Turn the legs out from the top of the hips. Hands either side of the shoulders, around 2 90-degree angles. 1 at your shoulder, 1 at your elbow. Forearms parallel to the edges of your mat. Rest your forehead down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, slide your nose to look at your mat. Lift the back of the head, neck, upper spine. Now press into your hands, lengthen your arms, coming into your full Cobra. When you're there, lengthen your legs, then roll your shoulders down your back. Open your heart to the front of the room, breath in. Breathe out, bend your elbows, come down nice and smooth. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, slide the nose to look at the mat. Lift the back of the head, neck, upper spine, shoulders start to roll down your back. Press into the hands, lengthen the arms. A nice equal extension in that spine. Breath in. Breathe out, roll down, elbows bend. 1 bone at a time comes down. Take a breath in at the bottom. Breathe out, slide the nose, lift the back of the head, neck, upper spine, press into the hands, lengthen the arms, hold it there, take a breath in. And breathe out, bend your elbows, come down nice and smooth, 1 bone at a time. Bring your legs together, hands either side of your rib cage, gently press yourself back and come to child's pose. Knees together, sit the bum onto the heels. If that's not comfortable, open up your knees. Forehead rest down, bring those hands down behind you and just allow those shoulders to round forwards into the mat. Take 2 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and again in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Good, roll up 1 bone at a time through your spine. all the way up to seated. Shift your weight into one bum cheek. Let's swing those legs round in front of you. Soles of the feet together, knees open into your long frog position. Sitting up nice and tall from the base of your spine, hands resting on the shins. On the knees. As you breathe in, long spine comes forward, slide the hands down the shins and just release your body down over your legs. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just let gravity pull yourself down towards the floor. Feeling that length coming down the outer edges of your hips, outer edges of your thighs. 2 more breaths. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. 1 more breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Roll up nice and gently, 1 bone at a time through your spine. Hands just come down either side of you. Float the arms up, interlace the fingers. Bring the hands behind the head. Elbows slightly forwards. Breathe in, just slide your shoulders up to your ears. Gently slide them down. Let's go again. 2 more. Breathe in, slide the shoulders up. Slide them down. 1 more time. Breathe in, slide the shoulders up. Slide the shoulders down. Lengthen the arms. Bring the hands gently to rest on the knees. Close the eyes and take 2 deep sighs in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it go. 1 more in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it go. And you can float the eyes open. And we're all done. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, good. We're still here. Perfect. Any questions, send them my way. Happy to answer any Pilates related queries that you have. I'm here every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. So this is where you can find me. Thanks, Liz. Oh, Leah, good to see you this morning. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Everyone's feeling a little bit more energized now. Thanks, Emma. Lovely. All right, guys, we'll have a great day at working from home. And I will hopefully see you next week. Thanks, Claire. Oh, Hannah. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. That makes me happy. Ellie, yay! Good to see you. Thanks, Rosie. Oh, great. All right, guys, I think we're on. Oh, Madeline, hi. All right, I'm gonna head off now. But as I say, any questions, send them my way. And I'm here to answer anything that you need. All right, see you later.